Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I had a browse around the library earlier. It's just beautiful. It's nice and bright and breezy, not like the one that I used to go to when I was a kid, which was an old dowdy building, dark. But I remember that well when I was a kid. We used to go on a Saturday morning, and there was a lady there that would tell us stories, and it was very engaging. And then my favorite author, I remember, and this when I was probably 9 or 10, was Enid Blyton. Do you know about Enid Blyton? She was a British writer. She wrote all kinds of storybooks, mostly mysteries for kids. So that brought me back when I went into your children's section there. It was very, very nice. So we're here to unveil our third kiosk with our resource guide. It was probably 2016 that we started talking about having a resource guide at the Legacy Foundation. There were many different resource guides in the communities throughout Cochise County, really. And we thought it would be really nice if we had one central spot where all the information could be gathered and kept. Well, lo and behold, we found Susan, who was doing that kind of work. And so we were able to hire Susan, and she has been keeping our resource guide up to date ever since. So it's been very strongly backed by the board, and Polly Gosa is here today. She's a member of our board at the Legacy Foundation. And we've just been really excited to see how this has progressed over the years. Our first kiosk was in Sierra Vista. Then last year we went down to Douglas and opened one in Douglas. So you are number 3 here in Benson, and we're hoping to open more as we go along. So we're excited to be here, and I'll pass it over and you can have your few words, and then we'll have Susan do a demonstration.
All right, well, thank you very much, and thank the Legacy Foundation for their continued support of community resources and acknowledging the fact that we have to have a place to centrally locate this so our people can have access to all the available resources that are provided through this. And your support of Cochise County is second to none, and we really appreciate you, and thank you for allowing us to be number 3.
I should have mentioned too that the kiosk is one element of the resource guide, because we have the app. Now, do any of you have the resource guide app? You'll have to show everybody how to do that then, because it's widely used throughout the county by many, many folks, paramedics, all of the first responders can use the app to find the resources that are available, because there's many, many resources in the community that people really don't know.
Ready?
Yes.
All right.
Here we are.
Yeah. And there I am. Okay. Okay, the resource guide is really simple. It has 21 categories. Most all of the categories are for the community and offering community resources. There are 3 on there, though, that are for the individual that are providing outreach within the community. Usually, and I did that. I worked for Simpatico, and I used to travel around. So I'm always looking for meeting space. So we have that available. Chambers and development and media. Economic development and media, which is the radio stations, because you're always trying to get your information out, so there's a need for contacts there. And then, of course, funding opportunities for nonprofits or nonprofit low-cost loans. But to start, let's go ahead. The things up top, this will just reset the whole kiosk. You can go home, which is this front page. You can go to the left. You can refresh it again. 2 refreshes, actually. You have the emergency numbers and hotlines being probably the most important thing that somebody might be looking for. But there's other categories: behavioral health, substance abuse, child and youth, disabilities, domestic violence, education, employment, financial assistance, food, clothing, utility assistance, and pet resources, housing and shelter, legal assistance, libraries, medical, physical health, transportation, seniors, veterans, and then some of the other ones I've noted, local coalition meetings and support groups. The top 3 that have been consistently the most important for years, the whole years I've been doing this, are behavioral health, food, and housing and shelter. The hits on those areas are more than any other category that we have since the very beginning of the resource guide. Okay, you would just hit a category. I'll go in food and clothing. It's going to eventually bring up everything that's in here. One of the things I want to note is the fact that we have maps in the food and clothing category and also in this substance abuse behavioral health. So if these information below it might be reflected in this map. So if you go to the map, it's going to bring up food distribution sites and TFAB distribution sites. The blue is the TFAB, the green is just distribution. So if you click on one of these, it's going to bring up the actual entry, and you can actually go directly to the entry by hitting more information. Internet takes a little time. There you go. So there's the actual entry. The things in blue are active links, which means a map on the address. You can. The problem with the kiosk compared to like the app download on your phone, or if you go via via your computer, is that these links won't be active in the kiosk. It won't bring up a phone system for you. It will actually, if you click on it, let's see what it does. It usually brings up a little drop down that says phone, but it just won't work. So in the kiosk sense, some of these active links won't work, but they will all work on your downloads for your phones and on your, if you're on our resource guide directly from a computer. Okay, so this is, there was a request for a one place to go to look at all the resources. So that was the one for the food. You can go, just keep getting hit, go and hit, use the arrow key to go back. And then the same thing for behavioral health. That map is also keyed to or posted at the top. So if you hit that one, then it lists all the behavioral health organizations in the community. And going up, actually, if you bring the map down, and there's even some up in Tucson, Phoenix, going out to Wilcox. So there's just a lot of information there. Okay, if you notice when you go into, or even at the bottom, if this isn't available in English, but it's also available in Spanish by just hitting this button down at the bottom. And you can go back and forth from English to Spanish by just hitting it. You also, if you're in a category and you see something that might not be correct on the entry, you have the ability to send me an update at the bottom. You can pick this, just put the information here. If you want me to get back in touch with you, go ahead and give me your contact information, because this comes to me, but unless you give me your contact information, I can't get back to you. So you can send or add a new resource or update a resource, or you can provide us with feedback on the resource guide itself. So those are some of the components about it. Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, it seems pretty user-friendly.
It is. The categories are clearly outlined. The one thing I will say is I need everybody's help. I am in this every day that I work. I'm in this looking up information and updating it. But sometimes I might miss something from the community as things change. So if you know any information, please get a hold of me, whether you call me, whether you email me, whether you contact me through the kiosk. I would love the information that you might have.
I've got a quick question.
Sure.
Where would we list our Lunchtime Connect program, our Friday lunches for our seniors?
That you can just, again, you can go to this where it says add, update a resource, and you can give me all the information in here. And as soon as you hit send update, it comes to me.
All right, we will do that.
When you get into a category, up here you'll see select community. If you hit the down arrow, you can pick a community that you want. So if you say Benson, now keep in mind though, currently the way this is done is that it picks up Benson, the word Benson. So I might indicate a resource as just Benson, but if I indicate a resource as Cochise County, which includes Benson, it will also pick up that.
Okay.
But then they're all alphabetized. And here, if you're looking for a particular one, you have this little magnifying glass as your search option. You can type in an organization, you can type in a word, like housing or whatever. And the thing is, you can use the keyboard or you can use the screen.
I want to formally thank you and all the work that you've put into this to make this what it is. And on behalf of the City of Benson and all its residents, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.